Calling all my sweeties to the forefront. I'm your host, Renee Hayslett, and this is the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. Welcome to another episode of the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. I'm your host, Renee Hayslett, and today we are joined by multi-hyphenate talent. He is an actor, singer, songwriter, known for his versatile talents in both entertainment and music. KIPS family, please welcome Jacob Latimore. Jacob, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Finally, how are you feeling?
I love these CB2 seats.
Go on and get you some. You know, we like a little affordable, good price points.
That's right.
Comfortable.
Gotta keep it cozy.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Just back home. Been filming the Shy for like 8 months last year. Wow. So just enjoying home, you know?
Yeah.
Like not leaving.
Not leaving. Oh, tell me about it. It's always fascinating because I'm in the Tyler Perry ecosystem and we shoot 22 episodes in 2 weeks. Insane. And to hear you shooting for 8 months, I'm like, what's that like? I feel like I would get bored though. I'd be like, can we hurry up?
It's definitely a process. Like if I'm not on set, I'm just at home studying those lines.
Yes.
And then, you know, in the gym or, I don't know, doing something productive in between. But always staying on call because you just never know.
Even on your off days, you never know if you bump something up. You got to be ready.
Like, this person didn't catch their flight or this person's sick or we need to come in. So we are ensemble. You know, so it's just like, you got to be ready. You know?
I love that show. It's so good. Shout out Lena and Luke James is one of my really good friends.
Shout out to Luke.
And I just did a movie 2 years ago with Burgundy.
Oh yeah, Burgundy. Yes.
So
her birthday is today.
Is it? Happy birthday, Burgundy. I know this will be after your birthday, but happy birthday, boo.
Yeah, fine.
Love her. But yes, I love that show. But Jacob, you have been doing this since you were 8 years old.
Yeah.
And you're 28 now.
28.
So most of your life.
Yep.
So you got a lot of skin in the game. So I've only been doing this for like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So I need to pick your brain.
Nah, you doing that. You doing your thing.
I'm trying. But I'm really proud of you. But starting at a very young age, what has that journey been like to get to where you are now?
It's definitely been a lot different. Like when I was 8 years old, acting was something I wasn't even thinking about.
Really?
You know, acting was like, I believe I got a script handed to me. Like they were auditioning for like the local like Lion King play, and they hand me a script like, they auditioning for Simba, Lil Jake. Like Lil Jake, man, you should do this, Lil Jake. You'll be cold, Lil Jake. And as I'm in Milwaukee, like, look, you'll be cold, Lil Jake. And I was like, nah, I'm on the porch, like really making decisions on, like, I'm gonna do this music thing first. Like,
wow, at 8 years old, like.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this music thing first, and then I get into acting, you know, if that door open, whatever. So, but then I moved, a couple years later, moved to Atlanta, still doing the music thing, and then I started finding other peers that weren't overthinking it. They were doing music, they were doing film, they were hosting, they were, you know, acting, whatever. And I just opened my mind up a little bit more and just got more comfortable and just was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, you know. And I found some acting classes and found my first agency out here. Shout out to Joy Purvis.
That was my first agency. Yes, love them.
And you know, she really believed in me and helped me get some really important projects that were pivotal and me learning on how to be on set and how to read scenes. And she would read those scenes with me too. Like, it was just dope. So that was a real hands-on agent.
And you don't get that a lot.
You know, and she had like her own self-tape room, and I was doing that. So moving to Atlanta was really just an eye-opening experience, and that's just like a testament. You got to be in an environment where you can thrive. Yes. You know what I mean? So you got to be around other people that are doing things that inspire you and make you check yourself. Like, oh, I'm overthinking. I ain't gotta quit doing
Absolutely,
music.
don't box yourself in.
You know what I mean? I could do that and this. So
that's so true.
Yeah, Atlanta it's always just been home for me ever since then. We moved out here 2008.
Okay, so I came a year after y'all,
2008, 2009, something like that.
Okay, I came in 2009. I was in DC working on Capitol Hill.
Wow.
And I was like, I saw all my friends out here thriving. I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. Yeah. And like you, like I wanted to do music. Like that was my thing. And if music opened the door for other things, I was open to it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of ended up being the reverse, where acting ended up opening the door for music.
Yeah. And it's all tied in now. So now I meet a lot of musicians like, bro, I wanna be acting.
Yes,
you know, and I'm like, man, you know, you just gotta get in there, get into acting classes. Like I really paid my dues too with the acting. Like I really got in class. I really did improv training. Like I really you know, but then also the on-set experience was just alone. Like, was nothing like class either.
Nothing.
You know, you can do the tongue twisters. Yeah, red leather, yeah, leather, red leather, yellow leather. Like, you can get in there, and sometimes city, like, you could do all those things and learn these monologues, but nothing like that on-set experience where they changing the lines right in the middle.
You had to be quick on your
like,
pivot.
hey, you know, we want to change this line right here and do this line. And you got Will Smith looking at you like, you can do it? And I'm like,
you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Like, no. Why are you changing my line? I'm rehearsing all night.
Right.
But it's just it's cool. And it's a part of the process, and it keeps us uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, which is good for growth, right?
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you about working with Will. Will Smith is like everybody's icon.
Yeah.
You know, and our North Star, especially in music and acting, we just that's the place that we aim to go. What was it like working with him?
I ain't gonna lie, I was fanned out. I
can imagine.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I actually took a picture with him and then posted it online, and I got an email from production saying, hey, you need to take that down. He's in costume.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
You know?
Oh, my gosh, I almost lost a job like that.
Yeah.
Working with Jamie Foxx. And
I learned a lot working with him.
Yeah.
And just watching him, and also just seeing what it takes to be that level of a brand and a celebrity. Like, you know, he was like, we outside filming in New York, and he's got to memorize his lines, but he got like screaming fans on the corner, and, you know, no telling what he's dealing with in his personal life and all these things. So it's just, you just seeing it up close, and you're like, whoa, how famous do I want to be? You know?
Exactly.
It's like, and you're like, man, this is different level. Like, they gotta roll him into the car. Like, I walked to set.
Yeah, ain't nobody about you like.
Yeah, like Jaden Smith.
Not Jaden, I'm Jacob.
Yes, I'm Jade. Like, I went with it. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was like they had to roll him into set in the SUV and like let him out right where the camera was.
Yeah,
you know, so he had to move different, and but he was all smiles, and he has good energy about it. So I definitely learned how to bring good energy to work.
Love that. That's important.
He shakes everybody's hand, and I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, when I'm on set of the shot, I always remind myself, like, I prayed to be here. You know, even though I'm tired today, I may not feel like it today. Like, I'm gonna come to set and come to the makeup trailer, come into the hair trailer with energy, and this is a good thing. We're here. This is a luxury, you know.
And we're getting the best part of it as the actors, you know. And you have to be. I worked on the other side as well. I was costume designer with Herman. Herman was my supervisor, and understanding how tired they are as well. Like, we're all exhausted, you know, because they're taking care of us, and we're trying to deliver the lines and make the director happy. But everybody's pulling.
Everybody's pulling.
So it's I love that you do that, and I love that Will was that example for you.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes our icons aren't the nicest, you know, and you're like, dang.
Yep. You're like, dang, I should have just kept it this.
Right. Exactly.
But they're human. You start to give grace too, because you realize everybody doesn't want to be that light, you know what I mean, that thing, you know what I mean. So it's like, hey, I don't want everybody to glorify me and be this, you know, that. They want to just come to set, be treated normal, and I give grace to a lot of actors and actresses I meet, because you just never know what, you know, people are going through.
Absolutely.
Because we reading these scripts, and this is our lives, and we gotta keep this facade, and we have fans who fall in love with the shows that we're on, because we're in their households
every week.
It feel like
they know
homies.
You.
Like, you know, you fans walk up to you like, what's up? Hey, yo, I be watching your show. You know, hey, bro, you got bro, what happened for real? Like,
right.
So it feel like we family to them, and you never want to disappoint anybody in their experience. So it's like, you're like, dang, like, this is what I asked for.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like,
even
I appreciate
when you're exhausted.
Yeah, you can get a picture, man. Come on.
Like,
even though, like, I'm busted right now, I'm sleepy coming off the plane, like, whatever, like, sleep all in the eye. That's cool.
Yes, it's so funny, because I was just talking about this actually with Da Vinci about how we're human, first and foremost, but we can be having the worst day, but we always have to be on, you know, no matter what, because you want that moment with that fan to be the best moment. Because I know what it's like to meet somebody that I just adore, and like, oh my gosh, I just love everything you do, and they were like completely mean. It's like, oh my goodness,
you give a lot of yourself. You know?
You
so
do.
It's tough. It's a tough balance. And I'm at the point now, if I know I'm not in the greatest mood, I just stay home.
That's smart.
Just stay home. Order in, you know, like literally, like just stay home.
Yeah.
You know, like it's me time. I'll go to the gym and go back home, walk the dog, like literally stay in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing for me to do when I know I'm like, today ain't it.
Right, exactly.
It ain't one of them.
Exactly.
And not really answering the phone like that. You know what I mean? So I try to refuel myself before I even step outside that door.
That's good. So speaking of refueling and balancing, how do you balance between all the many hats that you wear?
I don't know.
He said, that was like, I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Like this morning I had 2 auditions before I came here.
Wow.
After this, I'm going to the studio tonight to finish some touches on my album. So it's like when you just love what you do, you kind of just make time for it.
You make time,
you know? And you realize like, hey, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that has these opportunities, and this is what I pray for. And like, what else I got to do today?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really ain't got nothing else to do today. You know, I would just go home and
chill with the dogs,
watch movies. So let me record this record tonight. Let me get it done.
Yeah.
Then I could go on vacation.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So really just dedication. Really just like, no matter how you feeling, just do it.
Just do it.
You know, creating that checklist, and sometimes it can feel like you just dragging yourself all day, and then when you finally sit down and look at the work you put in, you're like, whoa, this is years and years of work, of consistency. And,
very consistent,
you know, so, and I feel like that's the name of the game with anything that you want to be successful in. You just gotta be consistent.
And I feel like that's where a lot of people fall short.
Yeah.
That makes a difference between making it and not making it.
Yep.
Is that consistency. You don't have to be the best doing what you do, but the ones that are consistent make it.
Nah, like when I'm in the gym for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting crazy. And then you feel like you got the results, so you go to Zaxby's because
I can go get a little,
you got room, and then you lose all that 2-3 weeks over a short week or weekend, of partying and kicking it, and then you like, oh man, I'm back. I'm back pot belly. I'm back.
It don't take long.
You know what I mean?
It takes 2 weeks to get it off, but 1 chicken tender to get it back on. You're like, dang.
Yep. And it's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know? And I just try to surround myself around people who are consistent.
Yes.
And just at this point, like, you know, friendships or even colleagues or just anything. If people around me aren't consistent in what they're doing or sticking by their word, it's kind of like, man, it's like, we gotta cut you off.
Listen,
you know, I got to.
Yes, because when they're not moving in the same direction, you are just like all the people that are around you. And if you don't be very mindful and intentional about the people you're around, you be like, why am I acting? Oh, because I'm around you a lot. Because they start to rub off on you, whether you're in that headspace or not. Yeah, it's like it's inevitable.
And you try, and I think too, like we got big hearts, so we try to help. Yes. We try to give insight, and I think all of that is cool. But I've learned to give some advice, help where I can, watch them. If they applied it at all, and I leave it at that. I can't force you to. I can't force your journey on you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You cannot.
I can only just lead by example and just through my actions. So I can give you what I can on the advice tip, but that's about it.
That's
you know, like if I'm on set and I'm saying, hey, bro, like I think you should lock in more right here and here and here. But so you're not receptive of it, and I'm like, I did what I could because, you know, I could be standing next to you and I could bite the bullet you biting. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to save you, and I can't because you're not receptive of what I'm saying. You know, and I think it took me a while to have that voice because I have been in the game since I was a kid. Like my first film set I was on when I was like 11.
Wow.
This show called One Tree Hill.
Oh yeah.
They did a few seasons, and Sophia Bush was the director of that episode, and I actually seen her pre-Golden Globes parties, and every time I see her, she's like, wow, like I seen that spark in your eye at like 8, 9, 11 years old, you know. So it took me a while to kind of have that voice of like, even just being the youngest in the room, if I'm in a room full of maybe up and coming actors who are maybe just getting their start at 21, 22,
right.
but I'm like 17, and I don't want to be the, you know,
the guy to be like,
I don't want to be the guy like, hey bro,
me?
you probably shouldn't do that,
right?
You know, hey, like you probably shouldn't move like that,
yeah.
You know, and it took me a while. I was kind of hesitant. I was always a little shy or scared, like, oh man, they might think I'm be acting funny,
right?
Or,
I think I'm like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was overthought it, and now if I have the opportunity to speak. And if I see somebody that got like a lot of potential, and I'm like, bro, like you dope, like you could be more, like you don't let up, you know.
Yes.
And if I could tell them, I will. But if I feel like they're not receptive of it, I'm just like, I'm out.
Right, and the right person would be like, oh, thank you for seeing me.
Yeah.
And I do want to lock in and do better. You know, most people will take, if they're in there for the right reasons and they have the right mindset, they would be grateful that you gave them that insight.
Yeah. And I it's still room for me to grow. Like my agent calls me like, yeah, dude, like, hey, like, watch these shows, like, mimic that stuff. Shout out to Dan Kim. We've been rocking since I was like 14. So, and just inspired by the 2 auditions I had today. And they're just totally different and challenged me because I have been playing the shy for so long. So sometimes it's good for me to just get other auditions that, even if I don't get the part, it's just a good exercise.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean? For like, for me to tap into different characters and stuff. So.
I love that. You spoke on being the only one, and you opened up about survivor's remorse on the BETs for the fellas. I want to dive more into that because that's something I love talking to my peers about, because a lot of times we are the ones that made it, and we carry so much weight when it comes to that.
Yep.
How are you navigating that now?
Just saying no, you know, just like saying no where I need to say no, you know, and realizing that I have a track record of giving. I have a history of giving, and you shouldn't feel guilty because it's not like you're not a giving person.
Right.
It's not like I ain't got receipts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's like I've helped you here. I helped you there. You know, you can't say I didn't help you there.
Yeah.
You know, I would never ask for payback.
No.
You know, and every time I give, you know, some family like, oh, I might get you back. I'm like, listen, every time I give, I'm literally on to the next. I'm not even thinking about it.
You can't.
If you find it somewhere in your heart and you come up on some means to whatever, cool.
Yeah.
But I promise you, I'm not thinking about it. Please, like honestly, if you make some bread, just invest in yourself.
Please just do right by that. Yes.
You ain't gotta make that call to me again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you are not in debt over here. You know,
that's
like,
so
the
good. My
best thing
dad
you
taught
can
me
do.
that too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just it took me a while. It took me a while to like let go of that survivor's remorse and that guilt of just like feeling like I have to help everybody. You know, and I'm behind on. I'm like, man.
If I keep helping y'all, I'm gonna be behind.
You know, and I don't think people realize the more money you make, the bigger your expenses.
The bigger expenses, the more Uncle Sam takes. We're not getting a refund check.
You know, and
we're paying him even more.
And it's like I have goals. I have real estate goals. I have money I'm investing into. So, you know, on the outside looking in, it can be like, oh, he was born rich because he been
doing this forever.
He's been doing this since he was 8. Like, if I'm being honest, like the real income, like really didn't come to my 20s. You know what I mean? Like as a teenager, I was like, it may have looked like, but trust me, you know, like we were still figuring it out, and you know, as you know, as black people, we make it look good. Yeah. We know how to make it look good.
Hello.
You know, so and I'm at the space now, I just don't want to look good. I want to be good.
I love that.
And when you want to be good, you got to say no. You know, like I cannot help you in this season of my life.
Sometimes you have to say no to others to say yes to yourself and yes to your future, because unlike a lot of people, our jobs are not promised. It could be canceled tomorrow, God forbid, you know, but like we have to do everything we can now to make sure we're set up for the future. Most people have some type of job security. You know, we don't have that, so we have to save for the rainy day.
And when they say what's next, like what's next, like I don't know what's next.
That's what I have to do. It's the pressure of dealing with I don't know.
Like thank God I'm on a show that I can kind of like, I know we're starting season 8. You know, but I can't just bank on bank on that. They say they could cancel the show. God forbid. Please don't. I'm not throwing that out there.
No.
But it's like, you just never know. You know, like we had a big film strike. You know, like
did that not open your eyes?
Like, wow.
I was like, oh.
Like,
I'm
thankful for investing in it. That I knew how to invest in real estate. I knew how to save some bread here and just stay at home and stop going to the club
and spending frivolous money.
Sections is crazy.
They are
you know
crazy.
What I mean? Bottles is crazy.
Yeah,
I can get the bottles at the house.
Hello.
I can create the vibe at the crib. Like, and I can have my own shindig going.
Exactly.
I can stand on my own couch. You know what I'm saying?
With your people, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like my whole mental has shifted. In that space, and it's literally shown in every aspect of my life, spiritually, financially, physically, mentally. I'm like, this, duh.
Right. I love it. Duh.
Yeah.
You also spoke about something that we have in common. I don't know if your relationship status right now, but you talked about loneliness, and sometimes loneliness is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I know for me, gaining success, it was hard for me to find the right relationship that understood what all comes with this life. And even now, it's like you date someone, they're like, oh my goodness, you come with a lot. And it's a lot of amazing things, but they may not be used to the level of the amazing things. They're like, this is a lot. And then you're busy all the time, you're on the go, and you have to stay focused.
Yeah.
What was the moment where you realized, wait, being lonely is not a bad thing? Or it's not lonely, it's just being in solitude and by yourself. What did you
I just come from a big family. Like I grew up in a house where my dad and my grandfather was in one house.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like all my uncles, all my cousins. So I come from that type of household. When I was to leave school, like the whole family was in the house, lit, eating dinner. We had big breakfasts. We had, you know what I mean? And as I get older and people are going through their own things and whatever, so I was just like, oh man, I can't bring everybody into my world because it just don't work. It don't work like that. It don't fit. And you know when it don't fit, you know, because like doing business with a bunch of family can work when it works.
Yes.
You know, like the Wayans. It works.
It works. Yes.
It works. Ball Brothers, it works.
Yes. Yes.
Smith family works. Works.
It does.
It don't work over here. It don't
Listen,
work. It don't work
Jacob.
for me, you know. And my mother is, you know, she got my back the most.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. She manages you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real hands on. Like she's pretty much everything. Like you know, assisted, making sure schedules laid out.
Yeah.
You know, secretary, everything.
Everything.
You know,
I love that.
Always
that
making
works.
Sure that works.
Yes.
When you know when it works, it just you gotta keep it at that. And so it was some hard decisions to make on that side of just like the family business. And it doesn't mean I can't have a relationship with my family. It just mean that, hey, my business is a whole nother arena. You know,
It is.
I'll come to see you. I'm gonna check on you. How you doing? I love you.
I love you. I love
I gotta
you.
get to work.
Yes.
I love y'all. Yeah, I see you.
You're right.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, you be good, man. hey, get them grades up.
Yes.
No, I see. You know.
Exactly.
Can I get it? No, I
gotta go.
Can you FaceTime? No. Can you FaceTime? No.
I be looking crazy. My cousin like, so work. She on the night shift. She didn't believe you was my cousin. I'm over there looking. I'm like, girl.
Can I pull up on set? No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. All these harassment, we got to take harassment classes. You don't know what we learning. You can't just be no. Yeah. I'm not bringing you.
This is not playtime. This is the big league.
This is the big
literally
game on.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just it's a big shift, and people will think you acting funny. You know, it's like, oh, bro, like you tripping, or like because I ain't answering the phone because. I gotta play a scene where I'm depressed.
Yeah, I need to get in.
I can't talk to you.
I can't talk.
I'm depressed.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's those things and those scripts that come in that force you to lock in.
It is.
You know, and that's the. I mean, I wouldn't even say that's just an actor. Anything you want to do in life, like if you want to be a gymnast, if you want to be a lawyer, it takes that. You got to clock in.
You do.
You know.
You do.
And but I've also learned how to close the office too. Like at home, I got my office, and then like I really try to be out of the office by 5 or 6 o'clock in
That's
the evening.
good.
Where I'm like, all right.
Don't say that too loud. Don't get no ideas, y'all.
You're right. You know, but you set your own times up. Like every day might be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You may start a little later. Like hey, tonight one of them nights.
Yeah, we gonna
you know
go.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
we gonna
like,
be here for a minute.
Because I've had to run scenes till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. before with a 9 a.m. call to set because
Same.
you know.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And you know you have to make those decisions. But I've also just learned on when to turn it on, when to turn it off for me. That's good. So I could be ready for the next day.
Exactly.
There's always another day because sleep is important.
I tell DeVal all the time because we in the first few seasons we would push ourselves. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, we just wrapped. Like,
hey,
all right,
y'all knocking it out back to back.
Back to back.
Y'all like theater.
No, literally that's how we shoot. We literally shoot like we're in front of a live audience.
I love that.
One take, because Tyler comes from the theater.
Shout out to Tyler.
Yeah,
I got my first gig on one of my first gigs, House of Pain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And that's still going. It's crazy. That show is still going.
Yeah, I talked to Lance. I'm like, man, what season y'all? He said, bro, like 13, something like that.
Something crazy, yeah.
Like
I'm like, I need to be, that's the type of longevity I need.
That's
Give me
beautiful.
that consistent check.
I love it.
Tyler. But no, I get it. Like, and we would literally like push ourselves. And by like season maybe 4, I was like, D, I can't keep doing this. I was like, let me go to sleep. Because we used to stay on campus. After COVID, we would stay at the studio.
Gotcha.
So after we wrapped, all right, I'm about to order some crab legs. Let's get these lines down for the next day. And one day we were running lines and I was like, and he was like, Chris, and I was like, no. He's like, Chris, and I said, huh? Yeah. And I was like, I gotta go to sleep. I can't. So I went, I went to sleep and then the next day knew every line. He was like, how did you do that? And I was like, I gotta sleep.
Sometimes you gotta sleep on it. You gotta sleep on it because
Yes.
you'll try to run them lines at that 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and you just stumbling over the lines.
Sticking.
And that brain rest a little bit, let it marinate. It's almost like when I was used to go to dance class, like I really didn't know the moves that day. But if they taught the next day and for the song or the tour we was rehearsing for, the moves just coming out fluid.
Yes.
Like you just gotta sleep on it, gotta let it marinate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's just with anything.
That's exactly. When it comes to roles that you choose, as an actor, do you let the story speak to you? Are there some absolute things that you look for in the character? How do you go through that process? Like you just had 2 auditions today. What made you say, I want to read for these?
It's a layer of things. I think at this point, I'm definitely looking at script, looking at story. Does it move me? Yeah. Is it lighthearted? Is it heavy? You know, sometimes it could be either or. Who's the director? Yeah. Who's the producers?
Important.
You know, I'm at a point right now. I want to go for the biggest commercial gigs. You know what I mean? I want to win. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I want to be next to seasoned actors. You know. So I do make those choices, and I do ask, well, who's casted? I ask. Yeah. You know, and it's no shade or anything. It's nothing like, oh, I can't work with this person because of this or that. Like it's just I paid my dues before. Yeah. You know, I started young and I want that next level. I love Timothy Chalamet's like speech. Yes. He's like, I want to strive to be a great. You know, and I'm inspired by the greats in the room, and I want to be next to greats, and I want to work with greats. I want to be on screen with greats. Exactly. You know, and that's just. If greats, and not to say my peers aren't great. I have some peers that are really great, and I prefer to work with if I can. Yeah. You know, like when I worked with Kelvin Harrison in this film called Gully.
He's so talented.
I was like, he's like my favorite actor.
He's one of my favorites. He's absolutely incredible.
And that film, I actually met Jonathan Majors for the first time. Really? And I was like, out of here.
Oh no, so he
out of here. He ain't had a side. Like I had the sides in my hand during rehearsal.
He over
no sides. Ready.
Beast.
Just ready.
Yeah.
Still was cut up. Yeah. The t-shirt, abs. I'm like. Yeah.
You're like, put these sides down.
I'm like ready.
I'm ready too.
He think he made a jog around us in a 360 to get his breath pumping up for the scene. Yeah. For the particular scene we were shooting, and he was just like, and I was like.
Incredible. Do you know where he studied? Because I always loved to, like, people. Do you do that?
I believe he went to school.
Like, he was like, okay, one like classically trained. Because I always
Yeah.
look to see like people that I love in their work. I'm like, where did they study?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I can get some type of intensive course in,
Yeah.
I like to keep that tool sharp.
I definitely watched, and Terrence Howard was on that set. It was a pretty cool.
Yes.
Charlie Plummer, some really amazing people. Like right before they really took off.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that was the beauty of working on a film like that.
Yeah. What made you say yes to that one?
The script was just like super left field. Like the character, not me at all. Like if anybody that's seen the film would be like, oh, you got a whole different. I believe Miguel reached out to me and was like, bro, they don't even know what you're capable of.
Wow.
And that meant a lot to me because when you're doing a new role, you kind of insecure. Like you're like, man, like I don't know if am I killing it?
Right.
Like am I really nailing it? You know, because I auditioned. Shout out to Nabil. I auditioned like 6 times, and shout out to him for believing in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like I auditioned for like 5 or 6 times. He was like, more. You're not going hard enough. You're too smooth.
Oh, that's good.
Like it was just like
you.
too smooth. Like you're too shake it off. I was like, right.
Okay, you're like,
because I sing R&B. You know, I'm Jacob Latimore.
Right.
Like he shake that off. Get off. That's not gonna work here.
Yes.
So,
wow. Was it frustrating? Like
a little bit.
Because I'm sure at this point in your career, you're like, either you want me or you don't. Like,
yeah. But it was just refreshing though because usually after the 3rd audition, they looking for the next person.
When they called you in that 5th and 6th, you're like, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah. So I believe he was definitely in there fighting for me. And, because a producer may have a favorite, the director may have a favorite,
the writer may have,
you know, but
everybody.
The director's like, no, I see something in you, push harder.
And that's who has to work with you.
You know,
that director. Yeah,
and
exactly.
shout out to Nabil for pushing me.
Wow.
That was that's a film I always cherish. Just the learning lesson of it. You know what I mean?
In your career, what has been like the most challenging thing that you had to deal with, like on set? I'm sure that was one of the most.
Definitely.
Was that the most challenging?
I would say. Yeah. Definitely. It was. I haven't been challenged like that in a long time. I mean, this season 7 of The Chi is gonna be. It pulled on me heavy emotionally. Emmy's going through some heavy stuff. He's not always smiles and fun and jokes.
Yeah.
But I would say this is probably the toughest season for me on The Chi. Just on the locking in part. Like, oh no, I can't. I have to be ready for this day
to be able to perform the way you need to.
Because you and I both know how like. When they gotta film that scene that day and they're on that time schedule, and they got that shot up, and you trying to be ready for that moment, ain't no room for error.
No. Are you a method actor?
I can be.
Yeah.
For Gully, I definitely was for that film with Kelvin. And it depends. It depends on the heaviness of it.
Yeah.
Like if it's some room for me to add me in there, I don't really be on anything method. But if it's like not me at all,
you gotta wake up in it.
Close the door.
The whole time. Yeah.
Lock it.
Yes.
I may not show up to set with that energy that I like to show up to set with.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure I'm not acting funny or like causing any riffraff. You know, because some people could take the method thing and be rude. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah.
You know? Like I want to just let people know, like, hey, I'm just put them headphones in, like, hey, Jacob.
And then as soon as we wrap, it's like, man, thank y'all so much. Like, I had to
cut. Let's go get some wine.
Back. Yeah. No, I get it. You do, and there's times like even with my hair and makeup team, they know me so well, but before they really understood my method, they would be like keying, and I would have super emotional scenes like, hey, can y'all just bring it down just a little bit? Because I can't be around like, ha ha ha, and I'm over here like. Trying to keep that because I'm a naturally happy person, and I'm getting to the point where I can almost cry like to the drop. But I need it takes a minute to build it. I'm not like a
and it gets harder too because you build tougher skin and you're not as emotional as you was, you know. So you gotta like go listen to that one song.
Listen, what's your song?
Right now, I think I listened to I think it was a Boyz II Men record.
Okay. Oh.
I don't want to say it. I want to say it. But
And I shouldn't have asked you that because my acting coach told you never ask an actor what their like trigger is or like their song or whatever.
It's all good now because it's a couple. It's a couple. And then it's actually a old song that my dad and my uncles sung when they were teenagers. A gospel record. But,
Oh, your dad was a singer?
yeah.
Wow. Okay,
so like my dad and my uncles, they formed a gospel quartet when they were young called Latimore.
Wow.
They were actually touring and doing their thing, and then they later on got signed to MCA Records by Randy Jackson doing R&B music.
Randy,
so
shout out Randy, that's what's up.
Yeah. So that run was amazing for them, and I learned a lot watching them.
You know? I can imagine. Yeah.
Just hearing their stories and learning a lot from my uncle.
Yeah.
My uncle still to this day like, Jake, stay focused. Stay focused, little Jake.
Little Jake.
You out there, little Jake, stay focused. Don't let him stay out there.
Shout out, we need those voices in our ears because it can get a little crazy, when it's so much coming at you and life is changing so fast. You need to stay grounded.
Absolutely.
So shout out for that.
Gotta listen to it.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of music, one of my favorite songs right now is Residuals.
Oh yeah.
You like how I slid on in there?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Hit record.
You bodied when Tank started the challenge. I'm like, okay, now because that song is just like so good.
Yeah.
And I actually
the R&B authority.
Shout out Tank. When he started that, I was like, who's gonna like hop on this? And when you came in, baby, let me tell you something. I was like, it wasn't enough fire signs. I was like, so good.
When I saw the challenge bit put up, and I was like, I just put my phone down. I was like, I ain't doing it.
Really? He was like, I ain't gonna do it. What pushed you to do it?
Family members calling
me.
They like,
you gotta hop on
this.
this.
They like, Lil J, I know you don't do the covers no more, but you gotta do this one.
Listen.
You gotta do this one. And I was just like, alright. So I have recorded it, filmed it, and I literally wasn't about to throw it up.
Really?
I had did everything that, I was like, no.
What was the hesitation?
It was I just felt nervous. My body was shaking. That kind of like adrenaline rush. I pressed share.
I bet you like
it was like 100 comments in like
2 seconds. Yeah.
I'm like,
you're like, oh, here we
I
go.
Went upstairs and just I'm like, what's going on, y'all? What you mean? What you mean? Bro, I see. Yo, that's how you feeling?
You right.
What you talking? I ain't.
Because we were all like, oh, that's how you feeling.
Like, hey, look, it's just R&B.
It's music.
You know what I mean? Shout out Tank, shout out CB.
Yes,
Chris. And I got a chance to kick it with CB. I went to go see him in Brazil. And
his international run was insane.
Yeah, and a lot of the dancers that's with him, I grew up with, and just being out in LA, just seeing their growth as well.
Yeah.
So it was a full circle moment, and I just had to hop on it. I'm like, I was hesitant, but I know they was like, I felt like nobody was kind of expecting me to do it either, just because I just been so wrapped into the film.
Yeah.
But it was a cool moment for me to just show my talent on the music side. A lot of fans don't know I've ever did music.
What?
I've seen like a lot of comments. They're like, when Emmett started singing?
When Emmett started singing forever? Like,
So but
crazy.
The world's so big, and you gotta constantly humble yourself and say, no, I still got more to prove on this side. I still got people to win over. I still got more territory to conquer.
And I'm gonna say something. That song, how vulnerable you were in your cover on that one.
Yeah.
I feel like you had that like Usher Confessions type of like vulnerability where you're really pouring your heart out and sharing your truth, and something that a lot of people aren't comfortable doing. Are you, now that you're working on your own original music, is that something that you're putting into your music now? Yeah,
and what thing is, I had been doing it. It's just like I'm an independent artist, so it didn't really hit when I actually dropped it. I dropped the EP called Closure, just about how I was feeling, but I guess it was kind of quiet. My core fans knew about it.
Yes.
But something like that come about, they're like, oh, when he do music, like, oh, he been dropping stuff for a long time. I've been dropping heartbreak music. I've been dropping, you know, the healing music. You know what I'm saying? Connection 1, Connection 2, Connection 3 came out 2016, and you know, so now it's just a lot more eyes on my next project now.
And with social media too, and then
part of me was like, I wish my album was done now.
Right, no,
you know?
Perfect timing.
Because I'm indie, like we gotta do certain things. You know, we gotta be
when
ready.
It's hot,
when it's hot, we gotta catch that moment. I'm not signed to a major company. I do want to go back major one day. I just
really why?
I think for me, I just understand what the contract is. I understand what it is. Like I understand that. I understand the power of a major label. Like but I also understand the freedom of being independent. And it does work for me because I am on set most of the time.
So you can do it when you want to do it.
Yeah, but major companies still got they still got their foot in the game in the way that it's still tough for us. You know, but I want to go back with leverage though. I don't want to just go back to go back.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
I want to go back with it's gotta be right. It's gotta be worth my while.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
What I was saying, through what I'm saying? It's gotta be worth it.
It has to be. That's what ASHAUNNA and I say all the time. If we're gonna go to a bigger company for representation, they have to be doing more than what we doing here. In West 2, we're like, if they ain't doing, listen, the three of us, listen, we go get it. Yeah. So y'all had to bring more than what we doing ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because we can keep that money.
Absolutely.
Okay,
you know, because it's just, you know, you just understand when you think about your favorite artist, right? You think about your favorite touring artist. If you, I don't know, you can name anybody, and you look at their touring numbers, and you look at who they're signed to. They signed to the big dogs.
They are.
You know, they just, it is what it is. They didn't start off that way.
Yes.
They started off indie. You know, it's a great way to know how to be a boss indie. Like it's know how to go get your own records, book your own studio time, shoot your own music videos,
build your own fan base.
Build your own fan base. Like you gotta. It's a direct to consumer thing. You definitely gotta learn, no doubt about. Because you'll get to a record company and be like, why they ain't doing nothing for me? But they watching you. Yeah. You know, so right. you gotta see that you moving. They gotta see that you posting 4 or 5 times a day, that you're dedicated about it. So you can't access that capital that they have.
Exactly.
Because,
that's real.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of people compare their independent releases to a major artist release. That major artist may have $1 million on the market.
The backing is crazy. Yeah.
Out the gate. Yeah. As soon as that record drop, $1 million is spent, and now it's everywhere. It's in H&M. It's in elevators. You know, like you like, oh my stuff ain't popping. You like, you can't even compare your dollars.
You can't.
You know, you got to focus on your audience. So, and then when it's the right time, go expand.
Yep, exactly. I love that. Switching gears a little bit, I want to talk about love relationships and personal growth. As a young man who the ladies love,
y'all love me, ladies. Is that true? Why is that, lady? Why is that, lady? Alone from night to night, you find me. You seen that?
See? And he wonders why.
That's James Brown. That's James Brown. You ever see that?
Yes.
That's my favorite interview.
Oh my gosh. Classic. Do you find it hard to date being in the public eye? Because you've done public relationships, but...
Not really. I mean, at first it seems a little unorthodox. I mean, it is different. Like, spotlight is different, you know, when dating. But at this point, it's just like, let's just come with the territory. Yeah. It's my life, you know.
I like that.
You know what I mean? It's like, it ain't really, you learn to kind of just brush off certain things, you know what I mean? So it's just, it took some while to get used to. Yeah. Everything being so public, you like, oh, whoa, okay. People really care about who you with, and how you're moving, how y'all moving as a unit. Yeah. And you know, it's just not, you can't just take it lightly. Like people, if you putting it out there, like, whoa.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Beware.
Be ready. Social media, like, was that ever like an issue in your? Because I know for me, like, they like, you just give one little clue and they know this person's whole life, their whole backstory, and then they have an opinion on everything, and it's like, I ain't asked you for all that.
No, like now I would have a lot more boundaries now.
What your boundaries be?
I would just be like, no, let's not throw that up. Honestly, me personally at this point, I wouldn't pop out until it's my wife. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
if I'm not popping out my
Yes,
girlfriend.
that's one of my boundaries. If
Yeah.
we're dating, there's no red carpets, no like
Yeah.
social media posts.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hide you. We can go out and do whatever. If people see us, they see us.
Yep.
But I'm not broadcasting
Yeah,
it
it's over for
until
that.
that's just
We
for
ain't
my
doing
husband.
No TikTok, it's done. Nah,
Right, none of that.
It's I'm popping out like, yeah, I'm married.
I'm with you.
know what
That's
I mean?
good.
That's how I would like to do it.
Pull a Issa, because
You know
Issa
what I
just
mean?
popped out on all of us. We were like,
Yeah.
what happened? Yes.
And it's more peaceful that way.
Way
And
more.
You ain't got to deal with everybody all in your
Yeah.
in your stuff. You know what
I
I mean?
love that. So I want to know Jacob's dream girl. If you could like give the DNA or the makeup and the qualities of your dream girl, what would she be like?
Dream girl. First thing come to mind, just a godly thinking woman. Like not a perfect. When I say godly, it doesn't mean she's
There's
perfect.
no such thing.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely.
I'm not perfect. Like I mean, just somebody that's always constantly feeling that conviction
Come on now.
when they walk. You know,
Yes,
like
yes.
trying to live a life of like a sense of like repentance. Like, oh man, like yesterday I could have been better. You know, like I want to be better.
That's
you know what
good,
I mean?
yeah.
I think I'm looking. Not looking, but if I see something, I'm like, yeah, I like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in the industry we dealing with a lot of spirits. We dealing with a lot of things going
Come
on.
on.
At home, I need to feel like holy grail. You know what I mean? Like it need to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm in the kingdom of heaven.
Hello. Yes.
You know, so
Yeah. That's important. I
think
love that.
that's important for me. I think ultimately that's a dream girl. And then, you know, outside of that, I need you to be in the gym. We in the gym.
Yes.
I love to work out. With my
Yeah.
partner. Like I think it's very I feel like it's empowering.
It's
Like
great bonding too.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
bonding. Good conversation, therapy.
Come on,
You know.
therapy. So do you have a therapist?
I do.
Good.
I do. It's been a few months.
Okay, that's okay.
But I was heavy in it. I need to get back in there. Get back in there. But it was great for me.
Yes.
Because it taught me how to manage a lot on my own
That's good.
too.
Yeah.
And to let stuff go that she like, why are you carrying it?
You be like, I don't know.
I don't even know.
That's a good question.
Like,
Yeah.
but why? You know? So I like a girl with some style, you know.
Yeah.
But that could be taught too.
It can.
That could be
yeah.
taught.
Yeah, I always
know
say
what
that
I'm
with my guy. I'm like, I can handle that.
Yeah, that could be
Like-
taught. Like I'm like, hey, can you put this on?
It's already laid out.
That's crazy. Like, then pipe her up like, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, you
now
like
what's
this?
happening? Like, hey, that look crazy. Ooh, wee. Hey, I seen you rap. Like, what's happening? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah, those are materialistic things that can be taught. And then, you know, I had this conversation not too long ago. I'm like, do I want a working woman or do I want a at-home girl?
Yeah,
you
that's
know
a
what
good
I mean? Because
question,
I
yeah.
am such a workaholic.
It's almost like you need
You
that
know?
balance. Both of y'all can't be, So how do you feel about that now?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't know yet. I mean, it's not that I don't want my girl to have ambition and a work ethic. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like I think she should definitely have something that she loves to do, but I don't want her to feel like she got to do it. Like at the
I like
time,
that, yeah.
Like when I come home, I need you to be at the crib.
Yeah. Where you at?
You know, and I check myself. That's maybe a little selfish of me, a little bit. You know, a little bit.
Yeah, but it's honest.
But it's
you
honest.
Know, yeah, you have to be honest with yourself and what you need. You know, and finding the person that's like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still on the fence with
about
that.
that, yeah.
Like I'm still like, no, I need. Because I've had situations where a girl paid for me one time. I was like,
Pay for you like what?
like in the sense of like dinner and
Okay.
like my birthday, and I was like,
oh, I
I
like that.
always like I feel cringy because I'm like I'm so used to
Being the one paying
being
for
that,
everything.
you know.
Yeah.
And I was like that kind of felt good. I'm like, oh
I
God.
get used to this.
I'm like, give me a chick with some bread. And then I'm like, hold up. Then I'm like, wait.
Then
wait.
the lot comes with
what's the
that.
spirit?
Yeah.
What's the spirit?
Yes.
Because that's more important.
Way more
You know what I'm
important.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's always a battle. But I think for me, I'm really trying to force myself in a space right now to be single. This is the longest I've ever been single.
Really?
I started off dating young in relationships, so I was in like back-to-back relationship for like 10 years.
Yeah, I was a habitual dater. Like, I break up and somebody was like, I'm like, yep, next.
Like one was public, but the other ones was private and then long, and no one seen that. So I'm just like, I don't want to preach like, oh, you should be single, you should never date. Like, that's not what I want to put out there. I just think for me in this season, it's just good for me to enjoy my home. And the silence in my crib.
Jacob, it's important.
Yeah, you know, and take that time out before I share it with somebody.
And I'll tell you something, because I'm a lot older than you. When I had a season of my life where I didn't date as well. And I feel like when you're like us and we've dated so like rapidly or frequently, and you had all these different people and these different energies and just pouring, because when you're in a relationship, it's all about your partner. You know, and there comes a time where you do have to be selfish, as you, or whatever people want to call it. But I think in those moments you learn so much about yourself. You learn how to figure out what it is you like, because sometimes we can be in relationships like whatever you like, whatever you want to do, and it's like, damn, what do I like? You know, and I feel like in those moments of solitude and just not being with somebody, you learn exactly what you want. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, because a lot, I mean, people date like, you shouldn't be alone and all. No, sometimes you need those moments.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't go kick it. You know, like it's just my home is for me. You know. But I'll go to dinner, you know, like I'll go, you know, I'll have a dinner with a nice young lady, and we'll go to, you know, we in Atlanta, we go to a little hookah lounge or something.
So Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? Wings, lemon pepper, you know, you might catch a vibe, you know, so it ain't like I'm just like so isolated.
But you're not so like, I got to get somebody. Like you're not on the hunt or on the prowl.
I'm very vocal on just like, hey, I'm not really taking things serious right now.
Good, so you're not leading anyone on. I'm proud of you. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good.
You know, it's tough out here.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, it's very tough.
Because it's easy to be like, I like her though.
But I really like her.
And then you like, wait, what am I doing? I ain't got no vision. I ain't thinking about the next 2 years or nothing. You know?
Yeah, you have to be very intentional when it's time to be in that space. Because you can break somebody's heart, because they'll be like, Jacob Latimore,
they be open.
Like me, like, this the one. And then he just broke over because you wasn't ready. And then
I'm like,
now Jacob Latimore broke my heart.
That is
and
what
you don't
I
want
don't
that.
want. I don't want that. I don't want no track record of that.
No, so you're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. So I know we said when people ask you what's next, so I'm not going to ask you what's next, but what are you looking forward to for the future for you?
Right now, I'm just looking forward to just, I'm looking forward to creating more on the film side. Like I've been trying to practice more writing. So like taking more time. I'll talk to writers, and I was like, how long did it take for you to write this script? Oh, they said, oh man, like 6 years. You think you could go and write in your office and write a script in 30 days? No.
I've been writing a script since 2000. When was COVID? 2020. And a great writer mentor of mine, he was like, you can't write small. No, that's so true.
He said, you can't write small. He said, it's hard to make it small. I said, I got some one sheets. He like, he said, one sheets are cool, but it's hard to write small. You gotta take that 2-3 years every day and add something to the story, and the next thing you know, you have 100 pages, 120 pages. You know what I mean? So, just being patient with myself, journaling more.
We'll have to get you a journal. I have a journal.
I got some. I'd be like, if you look at the days in my journal, it's like, it'd be like months out between each date.
That's like, okay. It's really hard, especially when you're busy. It's hard to like wake up or in the evenings to figure out a time to sit down and really journal. You have to be it's something you have to be intentional with.
Absolutely.
So I understand, trust me, because there's times in my life where I'm like, oh, that was January, it's March. So like, I definitely get it. I'm more intentional about it now. Because it's therapeutic for me. And I write my prayers out. So like I talk to God about like what I'm grateful for, what I'm going through, what I want him to like guide me through, and all type of things. So it's more of like my time with God, where I write it out. But we'll make sure we give you a journal.
We always need them journals. I feel like I've had like 3 or 4 over the past couple years. And you got some information in there, you got some information in there, and you just writing down goals. And I mean, a lot of my goals are like financial, and I got real estate goals. I've been into that. Like I've been only thing I've been buying is like turnkey properties, meaning like properties that already have tenants in there and it's cash flowing already.
Smart.
Don't really need much work. But I want to get into flipping properties within the next 6 months.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like diving into that, and then also just doing a little traveling too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like this is the longest break we've had in between seasons.
Right.
So I want to do a little traveling, see the world a bit. You know.
Good. Yeah, enjoy it.
And get some perspective. You know, get some inspiration, because I am a homebody. I am like Chicago, Atlanta, maybe LA, maybe New York. But
oh yeah, you need to get out of the States.
I need to get out the States.
Absolutely.
And just, try some different food.
Yes.
You know, learn a different language.
All the things. Yeah, that's good. You'll come back inspired. Yeah. I promise you.
Oh, he's different now.
Y'all thought I was different. I'm different now. For real. I love that. So we do what is called positive outcomes, where our listeners write in and we give them advice.
Sweet.
So I'm going to read this letter from, I don't want to butcher your name. I hope I'm saying this right. NELEH Williams.
Oh.
Hey, NELEH. NELEH says, I recently just left a relationship I was in for 9 years. The only relationship I've been in, the only person I've ever been with. I have 3 children by him. As I started seeking God, we became further apart. I didn't quite understand until one night we had a big argument, and I prayed for clarity. And it was as if God himself was in my face and said, he can't go. The flesh wants what it wants, when it's comfortable, but the spirit says no. How do you handle flesh and spirit? Oh my gosh, NELEH. So
I'm not even know. I'm experienced enough to help her out with this. But what I do know about what I've read is a man leaves his mother and his father and become one flesh with his wife. And I don't, that don't sound easy to me. So I don't think it was ever meant to be easy, unless it was like something that's truly detrimental in the relationship. I say fight for it. And you got a family, man.
I think her biggest thing is that she's seeking a relationship with God, and the God's pulling apart from her. So I haven't had that situation, but I have had a situation where I had.
I missed that part. I wasn't listening.
Oh no, you good.
Okay.
I think that was her biggest thing. But for me, I've been in a situation where literally God sat in the car and was like, I heard the same thing. He can't go. Because I was fighting for it. I was like, I want this. And he was a narcissist, manipulative.
Oh, he can't go as in like into your next journey of your life.
Yeah.
I see. Ooh, yeah.
But you like, the flesh wants what it's like, but I love this man or this woman. And it's like, you see all the things that it could be in your mind. And God's like, no, that ain't what I have for you. And the reason why you still stuck is because you haven't let this go. Because I can't take you to the next level.
Right.
I've had that situation. And then even where I am now, God has been, I've talked about it on another podcast, but God convicted me on sex. So I'm really my Bible, and like I'm reading, it's like sexual morality. I'm like, it's like the words are like, I'm like,
yeah.
why are you jumping at me like that?
Nah, he'll do it to you.
Listen.
He's like, I seen you last night.
Listen.
I wasn't doing that.
Yo, Jacob.
You know, like,
he saw that.
You're right. I wasn't even supposed to be over there.
But he's supposed to be doing that.
I wasn't even supposed to be over there.
I told a friend of mine, because I gave it sex, and I had the hardest time telling the guy I was dating. I was like, he gonna be like, nah, I'm good on that.
Yep.
And he was like, nah, if this is what God convicted you on, like, I'm with it. But I remember telling my friend, as I went even further, I threw my vibrator out and all the things. I was like, I'm really gonna do this, because I can't like be halfway in and halfway out. Yeah. And I remember telling her, I was like, there was a bad storm like a few weeks ago. And I was like, I woke up, the thunder was so loud. I was like, is that God? Like, I thought he was bad. I went in my closet and everything. I was like, Lord, I was like, if you coming, come on.
Nah, them stomach feelings don't like, I've realized like, you can't ignore it.
No.
You can't ignore it. You know, and anytime I have, it's like, I knew it. I knew it.
You knew that discernment. You know what I mean? Yeah, you felt it. And it's like,
sometimes you feel like you crazy. You feel like I'm being crazy. No, I'm tripping. I'm overthinking.
You're not.
Nah.
No, there was nothing.
You right on point.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend. I said when I thought he was here, I was like, I really thought God had came back, and I said, and I thought, ooh, if God come back to right now, do I want to be somewhere with my legs cocked back?
Like, oh!
What do you think about it? She said, damn, I didn't think about it like that. I was like, think about it. I said, or whatever you doing that you ain't got no business doing. I was like,
that's so
I want to be like, hold on. Look.
I want to be in the word. Like, I knew you would return.
I knew you were coming.
I knew you would return.
My daddy gonna say, I told my dad he was done laughing. He said, girl, you gonna be gone before he even know you, like before you know you're gonna be caught up in the rapture. I was like, dang, I said, well, whatever I'm doing, I want to be caught up doing the right thing. I want to be getting there like butt naked, like, what was you doing?
At least you want to be in the covenant.
Right.
You in the covenant, it's like, hey! You know what I mean? You in the covenant.
Made it.
We married. We under your blood.
Listen.
You know what I mean? It's cool.
Yes.
You single, just outside, like, ah, man, I knew I was supposed to be there. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew I was supposed to be at home in my word.
Yes.
Watching sermons, being alone and sipping tea. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, Elijah, I would tell you just to continue to work on your relationship with God, and anything that is pushing you away from that or hindering you from that, you have to separate from it. That's right. So we praying for you, girl.
That's right. And forget what I said, because I ain't got no business even speaking on that.
No, you good. So we are going to end the show with a rapid fire game.
Okay.
All right. So every word or phrase that I say, you're going to tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, wait. Say it. Say it one more time.
I'm going to say
I'll be listening.
Yeah, you so serious. I'm going to give you some phrases. Okay. And whatever I say, I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
It can be like, it doesn't have to be just one word. You can like, whatever comes to mind, you can say it.
Okay.
The first one is the shy.
Consistent.
Oh, all right. The perfect woman.
Out there.
Ah, she's out there somewhere. Self-care.
Therapy.
I love that. Milwaukee.
Hometown.
Yes. Growth.
Uncomfortable.
Was it? Manhood.
An everyday learning curve. I don't never feel like I'm there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Last one, purpose.
Purpose, just divine.
That's good.
I almost don't even understand it. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. Like you think it's because you're doing your music, you think it's because it's doing your acting, but it's like, it's something deeper, you know? Like, it's deeper. And we still trying to figure it out.
Right.
Like, oh, that was the purpose for me being here. That was the purpose for me working with this actress. That was the real purpose for me working with this actor.
Yes.
Like, we doing this movie, it's gonna come out, but that conversation I had with that person was like, that was it. And that's the mysteriousness of the creator.
I love that.
Crazy.
I love that. Jacob, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, it was a vibe.
Yes.
They're gonna like this.
They are gonna love it. They're gonna love it.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so today I am wearing a sheer maxi dress by Camila Coelho. I'm wearing some leather leggings by Commando, thigh-high boots by Chloe, and you can shop this entire look on my LTK. Oh my goodness, my episode with Jacob Latimore was absolutely amazing. He has been in the game for so long. I took so many gems away, and I know you guys did too. One of the things that stood out the most to me were when we talked about survivor's remorse and who can come with you and who can't. And I feel like that is so prominent in so many people's walks, is knowing when it's time to let certain people go and the people you should hold on to that understand where you're going and your walk. That was an incredible conversation with Jacob. His journey and personal growth is inspiring, and I hope you're walking away as motivated as I am. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. If you want to write into our Positive Outcomes listener letter, you can send us an email to keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com. You can follow me on all platforms at Love Crystal Renee, and you can follow the show at Keep It Positive Sweetie. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who could use some positive energy. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, stay focused, stay confident, and always keep it positive, sweetie. I'll see you guys next time.